Nanum Ghana for Dr. Okujetu Abrakwa nsensem ya na egusu a eboboba a epiepie ebe. Na lawyer Paul Adomotri suicide ne sem kotu dwa concerning niam Dr. Okujetu Abrakwa yen ho. No sintinisa niam oye di witchcraft and as abesim. If it's a young man biti say Brian Echampo as set up in business. Ama business near our the most largest hotel in Africa. Open self find Koti Kwambisu exercise a business way. Emani yakwa. Nanum Ghana for. This is very sad and it is very interesting. Bibi Etwemu appear Minta Company Limited. As a company way a year the power a born home papa. It was one of the most fastest rising companies in Ghana. Nanum Ghana for former president. The late JJ Lawrence. A good company in a passa. Over. There's a lot of companies the Paba Ghana. Now complaining said the government want to sabotage them. The government want to sabotage them, and they are all blaming the NDC government for this mess. When in Sembra the two dra, no Ghana for and asem ketua. Tia Sembra ne tie lawyer Paul Adomotri ne some of the two dra, Madam.
We are divesting ßreak of these hotels that are run down. The pension doesn't make any money from it. All the pensioners who are complaining, you are not making any money from your pension. If this is going to be applied and the guy is going to give ßreak money for 60% of the stake, ßreak is not losing all of it. It's going to get 40%. What do you get with 100% of zero? La Palm Royal Beach lying down there. When Jose Mourinho came to Ghana, I believe it was in 2008. Kofi Amwa was running African Cup of Nations, and you know my relationship with Kofi Amwa. So I was in Mourinho's company. We took him all around. That's where Jose Mourinho stayed. That is where he stayed. The ball on which he wrote my name on it, I still have it. Jose Mourinho stayed in La Palm. It was in his dying embers. The 2008 committee, go and ask Rex Brobe. They had to quickly go to La Palm and put something there together and hurry up and do something. Now, Jose Mourinho cannot stay at La Palm if he comes to Ghana. So you have 100% of zero. If you are going to get 40% of a million, is it not better than 100% of zero? Why are we like this? Why? And it's an election year. So Okujetu Abrakwa is trying to make MPP and Akufo-Addo and Bawumia look bad. Please get me the Bawumia Kaya pictures and I'll deal with it. And I'll come to Samiji a bit later. Okujetu Abrakwa. He wants Ghanaians to feel that MPP is doing something wrong, just so that NDC can catapult them their way to power. Not so much because NDC have done anything or have a policy or are articulating any policy, but that they are selling hotels to themselves. These kinds of rhetoric that was used in 1981 by Akatapori, Yen Yen, Zaebo. Where are they today? Where did they take this country? JJ Rollins. What happened to the country? Zero. We went nowhere. All the youth are backward. We were watching black and white television when Nigeria was watching color television because of the excesses of that horrendous revolution, which was unwarranted. And Okujetu Abrakwa wants to take us back to that revolution. The revolution that is looking for Apente Mensah to kill him because he's a businessman. The revolution that is looking for Boachi Matres to kill him because he's a businessman. That wanton abuse of rights, which occurred in Ghana in 1981, is where they are taking us to. Anything Ghanaian is wrong. Any Ghanaian cannot own anything. Everything must go to Cole, Carlton, Palmer, Edwards. What kind of thing is that? And Mr. Speaker must call Abrakwa to order that we cannot do that in this house. If there's a problem with this, you can deal with it. And I'm going to show you that on radio this morning, Brian Achampa was able to explain to the viewer, the listeners of Joy FM, that there's absolutely no problem with it. This is Franklin Kujo. He starts. He says, I think it is sensible for a state behemoth such as ßreak, eternally abused by past and present politicians, to scale down on its real estate business, which has never been profitable. Did you hear Franklin Kujo? He says it has never been profitable. TUC unions and all those that Abrakwa may have infested. This is Franklin Kujo speaking as a civil society person. He's not a member of the MPP. He's been critical of the MPP. He's not a friend of Akufo-Addo. He's been critical of Akufo-Addo. That's not the point. The point is nation building. People are allowed to be critical of Akufo-Addo. Akufo-Addo is not going to be an angel. I am not an angel. You are not an angel. So if you take a position, the positions that you hold, the position that Abrakwa holds, is he an angel? Didn't Martin Amidu go to Supreme Court that Abrakwa has chopped $1.9 million of isophoto money? Didn't Martin Amidu sue him? But that is okay. He's doing his work as an MP. We support the work that he's doing. Look at the work he did when the Mepe thing happened. Everybody supports that. City FM supported his work. No problem about that. But we have to build our country, not based on this political infestation that there's an election. So we have to make sure that the opponent looks bad, and you grab anything and you come and say that Brian Achampong shouldn't have it because he's a black-skinned man. What are you talking about? Wait, what is this? He says that the politicians should scale down their business, which has never been profitable. Similarly, he goes on. SSNIT should seek private sector participation, co-investment in wholly owned hotels, which are all not running efficiently. Not only will that free up some liquidity, but it will also amputate the long arm of the politicians, which tend to reach into the brick and mortar business over which SSNIT has control. I hope the TUC people are listening. Those that say that the investment for SSNIT is for all of us, I hope they are all listening. That said, he says, I will support any competitive divestiture that brings on board more money, technology, skill, preserves Ghanaian management. I think the investment plan proposed and price agreed for the 4 hotels is fair. Ablakwa, are you listening? Honorable Ablakwa, are you listening to Franklin Kujo? Are you listening? He says that, and Franklin Kujo is going to justify why I've read it already, so I'm just sharing with you. He's going to justify why he thinks it's fair. He says, I think the investment plan proposed and the price agreed for the 4 hotels is fair. He justifies it. Listen. As you all know, I studied land economy and valuation of assets is at the core of the program. He studied land economy, and the valuation of assets is at the core of the land economy program. That's why I like the intellectualism. Frankly, Kujo is a young man, he's in his 40s. Fantastic. When you have people like this who are participating in the development of Ghana, then we are going to get somewhere. People who are not emotional about it. People who are not thinking about ballot box. But they are thinking about the society, about the nation, how it moves forward. This is not about ballot box. As for Kujeto, Blackwa and his friends, everything is about ballot box. That's where they live and breathe. Why? Because from school, they came to ballot box. You can't blame them for that. The other people come from school from ballot box who do something. No problem. That's you come from school and go to politics. It's not a crime. It is fine. But don't let that confuse you that everything is about ballot box. Because life and everything is not about ballot box. The fact that you just came from school to politics, you haven't worked before, and so you think everything is ballot box. Who told you that? Who told you everything is ballot box? If you had the opportunity to do something before you came to politics, you would have understood that everything about life is not ballot box. You walk from university and come straight to politics, so you think everything is ballot box. Who told you everything is ballot box? Yes, Franklin Kujo, who is not a necessarily supporter of any political party. But he is saying that it is important that SSNIT takes the decisions that they are taking. The decisions that SSNIT are taking today. Kujo is hoping that such decisions would have been taken earlier. And he's saying that he has looked at the valuation based on his own expertise as a land economist, and the pricing is fair. Let me go on. In a discussion with a course mate of mine on our platform, he shares the insights below. I have his permission to share it with you. Okay, another land economist talking. Many have questioned loss of the investments of SSNIT and wondered if they were worth it. In fact, but for the fact that SSNIT receives regular inflows by way of monthly contributions 12 months a year, that organization would have been in comatose by now. I strongly believe that one of the wasted investments of SSNIT was the hotel business. Now, I don't even want to get political. Go and look at the record of SSNIT. Who and whom created the hotel business? Go and check. Ablakwa, go and check. Who and whom created the hotel business that they say it has become wasteful? Who created it? We don't want to be political. Who created the SSNIT Hotel, La Palm and Co? Who created it? In the valuation we did for those hotels, accounts running for 5 consecutive years were all losses. Hence, we had to rely on the depreciated replacement cost approach instead of preferred profits method for the valuation. Which rational investor will keep to this investment given the high capital outlay and the maintenance cost? Speaking now as a valuer and a rational investor, I would never have put my money in those SSNIT hotels, but some investors are daring. They see what others can't. Perhaps power. Okay, let me go on. Perhaps power reminds me of the last conversation in the movie The Kingdom of Heaven between Balaam and Christian and Saladin, the Muslim who had just taken Jerusalem from the Christians. I've not watched that movie, but it sounds like a very interesting movie.